let us rise for our national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नाम ये जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जड़ गड़ मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय
Absolutely beautiful rendition using artificial intelligence, and that's how we're wishing all of our viewers around India and around the world a very, very happy Independence Day. I'm Shiv Arur. Let's get you straight to the headlines. Prime Minister Modi's big Parivarvad versus Parivar Jano message on Independence Day in his speech invokes the idea of India, my family, says family-based parties have pushed corruption and nepotism.
हमें इन तीन बुराइयों के खिलाफ पूरे सामर्थ्य के साथ लड़ना है। भ्रष्टाचार, परिवारवाद, तुष्टीकरण।
Prime Minister Modi's Mazboot Sarkar versus Corrupt Sarkar attack assures that he will be back at the Red Fort next year for an Independence Day speech.
और अगली बार 15 अगस्त को इसी लाल किले से मैं आपको देश की उपलब्धियां आपके सामने मैं प्रस्तुत करूंगा। परिवारजनों
Also, the Prime Minister's big Nari and Yuva Shakti pitch says government aims at 2 crore women millionaires in the country. Lord's Youth says youth make India unstoppable. Well, obviously, politics has erupted over the Prime Minister's will be back next year remark. Congress says Modi will hoist the Tiranga at his home. Superstar Akshay Kumar gets Indian citizenship, flaunts citizenship documents on social media. Says Dil or citizenship, dono Hindustani. Taking you straight first to the Wagah Atari border in Punjab, where the Rangers of Pakistan and the Border Security Force of India are engaged right now in their beating retreat ceremony on the occasion of India's Independence Day. Let's cut across and watch live.
आप सभी दर्शकों से निवेदन है कि आज के रिट्रीट सेरेमनी को लेकर लेकिन फोटोज व वीडियोज को जब भी सोशल मीडिया पर अपलोड करें कृपया बीएसएफ पंजाब के ऑफिशियल सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स जो डिस्प्ले पर दिखाए जा रहे हैं फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर और यूट्यूब को टैग करना ना भूलें। आप द्वारा ली गई बेस्ट फोटोग्राफ को बीएसएफ पंजाब के ऑफिशियल सोशल मीडिया हैंडल से शेयर किया जाएगा।
On the ground there at the Wagah Atari ceremony that's about to kick off in a moment from now. India Today's Kamaljeet Sandhu has been reporting from the border areas of Punjab for the last couple of days in the run-up to Independence Day. Another ceremony about to kick off there at Wagah and Atari. Pretty big crowd there, as always, Kamal.
Absolutely, should be loving it. The countdown to the beating retreat beginning in just a couple of minutes. 6:15 is the exact time. Before that, we've seen a slew of cultural programs, the BSF performing, but the roar of the crowd, Shiv, if you can hear, the crowd is all over India. They come from all over the states, and that's the spirit which is imbibed here, the unity in diversity. And we try and show you the tricolors waving from just about everywhere, just about a lot of crowds coming in. And now we're looking at the beating retreat ceremony. We're also talking about the tradition. Remember, 11th October 1947 was a time when it was the Indian Army which was having a joint check post here, and in the mid-50s it was the Punjab Armed Police, and thereafter from 1st December 1965 it's been the BSF, and then on there has been a tradition of beating retreat. Now let's just try and get a sense from the people out here. Yes, so we'll try and get you a word from the people. So yes, we have a designer who joins us. There are two designers, one from Delhi, one from Mumbai. Do tell us about your feeling about being here on Independence Day.
This is inexplicable. इसको words में नहीं बयां कर सकते. इतना proud और कभी पहले नहीं हुआ जितना आज हो रहा है.
You're gonna come back again and again. This is your 5th time here.
Yeah, I'll come every year.
We talked to your friend. So Indian tricolors everywhere. We see a small bindi here in tricolor. What is your advice? You're a designer. So how do you showcase Indian flag, not just in your spirit, but also on yourself?
I am wearing a bindi, and I believe that भारत को हमें अपने सर पे नाज की तरह रखना चाहिए. मैंने वही किया है बस. So I would suggest do that. Yeah, why not?
How about the crowd?
Oh my God, it's fantastic. Have you seen the performances? It was amazing. I loved it, and I think I'll come back again next year for sure.
Next time for sure. And that's the feeling that India has. The beats, the vibe. One across Pakistan, you barely see any spirit or any sort of thing. But Shiv, as part of the tradition, there will be 7 boxes of sweets which will be given. Pakistan gave 7 of assorted sweets, but India is giving them laddus, 7 boxes in all. But remember, it's the tradition. We've seen drones coming in, illegal intruders, infiltration bits, all sort of activities. But India keeping the spirit alive, BSF being the first line of defense. At the borders here, this is the traditional route, especially when it comes to India-Pakistan land border. And there we see the tradition of beating retreat, a unique way where both sides obviously exchange not only a ceremony, but for a brief moment, the ropes are thrown to each other. For a brief second, the rope of Pakistani flag is with the BSF, and of Indian is with Pakistan Rangers. And then thereafter, as soon as the sun sets, the flags come slithering down, concluding the ceremony. But again, the spirit here is massive. India, all in demonstration, is love for integrity, of unity. All of it is being said here at the Atari-Wagah border.
Kamal, especially for our viewers in other parts of the country, help us understand it. Because, you were reporting yesterday from the Amritsar border with the BSF. Relations between India and Pakistan have not been good for many, many years. And yet you have these few hours at Wagah Atari where there is a certain amount of cordiality, even I dare say a certain amount of friendliness between both sides. Mithai boxes are exchanged and there is a semblance of normality between two countries. It's almost like just these few hours and then everything else. What does it feel like to be there and see it in the flesh, Kamal?
Well, it's a different sort of a feeling because when you're at the international border, you know that threat is real. But here it's people to people. So this is the route. Both gates, Pakistan, Indian gates. But as far as the size is concerned, Pakistan has a couple of thousand. We had only an audience of 10,000. But with the improvement and upgradation done, 25,000, a couple of thousand waiting outside for the turn. Not everybody is very lucky. There's an app which has been downloaded. But yes, what we hear, more like a Sunny Deol film dialogue, Hindustan Zindabad, and obviously we're not hearing anything against Pakistan, but there are sloganeering that side as well. But clearly, as far as the hype is concerned, as far as the feeling, the vibe is concerned, BSF has obviously been organizing this, so people come with a very high expectation, be it from Kerala, be it from Kashmir, be it from Maharashtra, Delhi, just about anywhere. So it is the rest of India which comes there every single day. But 2 days, 26th January, 15th August, the spirits are extremely high. We see a cultural program. So all that is being imbibed here. And obviously, this is no crossing over. That's not possible. But clearly, there's a word coming in when we're talking to people saying, you know, we respect Pakistan, but do not cross that line because that is when devastation will come in. So people know that the message has been sent loud and clear to Pakistan that there are red lines which are not to be crossed. And clearly we've seen as far as the drones, illegal activity, intruders, all that sort of, and obviously the Urta Punjab tag where drugs have been pushed into Pakistan, from Pakistan to India, all that. But yes, now we are looking at the countdown to this and all the sloganeering of Bharat Mata Ki Jai, a big chant. I'll just let you hear that, absorb this particular ambience. So, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, all these chants, and the DG BSF, Nitin Agarwal there distributing. This is the conclusion of program. The sun setting now. The sun is not visible. The Pakistan flag and Indian flag even higher than this. So we have got the highest Indian flag right here in the Atari border, and in a couple of seconds from now, a couple of minutes to go before we see the BSF soldiers, all 6 foot tall. And remember, it's not just a challenge, it's the ceremony, the remarkable gait, the posturing. That is what the Indians come to see. And that's where the audience of Pakistan will also see the might of India. Their soldiers standing face to face with India. The gates will open, and that is where we really see India and Pakistan face to face so many times. But for people, this is a real emotion. Remember, Mohendra Pal Chopra, he's the one who had started the tradition going back to Punjab Armed Police, and since then, 1st December 1965, BSF has been there. And as far as Maharaja Ranjit Singh's own minister is concerned, Jathedar Sham Singh Atari, on which the Atari name of the village comes in, he's the one who looked at the invaders, but clearly it's the history. A lot of people associate with history, they come to see the ceremony, but there's a lot of history, a lot of experience. And yes, the Prime Minister talked about that particular history, but remember, there's one experience and one baggage, but clearly with modern India is looking at the strengths of India. And in a couple of seconds, and a couple of minutes from now, what we'll see is the beginning of the beating retreat, where each and every individual whose heart beats for India, they will be here. We've seen the cultural program concluding. That is where you see the DG who's been giving away all those certificates, and clearly a big day, because remember, all these Indians have been waiting for this one day. Let's just give you a 360-degree view. A 360-degree view of 25,000. This is the Swarn Diwar that you see, the golden dome out there. That's the Swarn Diwar, and that is where maximum number of people, and there is also an app. You know, you and I, we are digital savvy. But it's also a message for India to use that if they want to book a space and guarantee a space right here, especially on days of 15th August and 26th January.
Very, very interesting and lovely visuals that you're bringing to us, Kamal. Lucky that Kamal is there reporting live. It's a completely different experience watching this on television and being there for real. We can barely hear you because of all the the screams from the crowds there behind you, Kamal. So I can only imagine what it's actually like being there in the flesh. So we're going to stay with these visuals. We'll give Kamal a breather for a moment and try and get you some of these live pictures. There are students dancing there, and just a short while from now, as Kamal just explained in great detail, there will be the India-Pakistan exchange ceremony between the border security force from the Indian side and the Rangers on the Pakistan side. It's a hostile posture between India and Pakistan, but this is one of those ritualistic oddities between two countries that have been hostile towards each other since their very birth. It was Pakistan's Independence Day yesterday. There was a similar beating retreat ceremony at the Wagah Atari border, and today it is India's turn. A small patch of cordiality in what is otherwise a deeply adversarial and hostile relationship with India, suspending all dialogue with Pakistan in the face of continued state-sponsored cross-border terrorism. India and Pakistan continue to be neighbors, but there has been no headway in normalizing relations till Pakistan gives up on state-sponsored terror. And in view of all of that, and in the shadow of those harsh realities between these two neighbors, the fact is that what you're seeing play out at the Wagah Atari border is one small window of normality between two countries that used to be one country before 1947. The cultural display, many of it highly common. Remember, it is also a time to remember partition, and the partition of Pakistani Punjab, with the Wagah border representing one part of that partition, is very much part of India's history and Pakistan's history as far as the blood and tears of partition is concerned. And that's the reason why today's ritual also holds a great deal of significance for families and people on both sides, as Kamaljeet just mentioned. This is about also people to people connect. Let's get some sound in from the ground and listen. The central part of today's beating retreat ceremony is all set to begin. This is the gate that separates India and Pakistan at the Atari Wagah border. This is, of course, the Indian side. You can see the Pakistani flag on the other side. This gate is what will be opened, and then soldiers from both sides will conduct the famous beating retreat ceremony.
कश्मीर की बर्फीली एवं निष्ठुर सर्दियों से राजस्थान की तपती मरुस्थल और रण के तंत्र तक, पूर्व में सुंदरबन के मैंग्रोव जंगलों से मिजोरम त्रिपुरा की दुर्गम पहाड़ियों तक बीएसएफ के जवानों के हौसले कभी भी पस्त नहीं हुए। आज विश्व की सबसे बड़ी बॉर्डर गार्डिंग हो
From the ramparts of Red Fort today, Prime Minister Modi declared a big war for 2024. He's taken forward one of the themes that he's been thrusting at the people of India and the opposition since his speech at the end of the no trust motion last week. Taking a swipe at the opposition, Modi roared that he would be returning next year as well, and he would be speaking from the ramparts of the Red Fort next August. That is 3 months after the 2024 election. But his pitch has set the opposition on fire, taking a jibe back at Modi. Team India, the alliance, has asserted that it will be them who will be unfurling the flag next year and not Prime Minister Modi. Take a look.
और अगली बार 15 अगस्त को इसी लाल किले से मैं आपको देश की उपलब्धियां, आपके सामर्थ्य, आपके संकल्प, उसमें हुई प्रगति, उसकी जो सफलता है, उसके गौरवगान, उससे भी अधिक आत्मविश्वास के सामने, आपके सामने मैं प्रस्तुत करूंगा.
This has set the pitch for big 2024 war. While unveiling his government's reform, perform, transform motto, Prime Minister Modi from the ramparts of Red Fort declared he'll be back next year to list out the progress on the promises he made to the people.
2019 में परफॉर्मेंस के आधार पर आप सबने मुझे फिर से आशीर्वाद दिया. परिवर्तन का वादा मुझे यहां ले आया, परफॉर्मेंस मुझे दोबारा ले आया और आने वाले 5 साल अभूतपूर्व विकास के हैं. 2047 के सपने को साकार करने का सबसे बड़ा स्वर्णिम पल आने वाले 5 साल है. और अगली बार 15 अगस्त को इसी लाल किले से मैं आपको देश की उपलब्धियां, आपके सामर्थ्य, आपके संकल्प, उसमें हुई प्रगति, उसकी जो सफलता है, उसके गौरवगान, उससे भी अधिक आत्मविश्वास के सामने, आपके सामने मैं प्रस्तुत करूंगा.
Prime Minister Modi's new buzzword was Parivarjan, or family members, a term he used to address 140 crore Indians. The word, a striking juxtaposition with the Parivarwad attack that Modi often launches at the so-called dynastic parties. The word Parivarjan came up more than 45 times during Modi's speech.
आज मेरे देश के लोकतंत्र में एक ऐसी विकृति आई है जो कभी भारत के लोकतंत्र को मजबूती नहीं दे सकती. और वो क्या है बीमारी? परिवारवादी पार्टियां. और उनका तो मंत्र क्या है? पार्टी ऑफ द फैमिली, बाय द फैमिली एंड फॉर द फैमिली. इनका तो जीवन मंत्र यही है.
In no-holds-barred attack at the opposition bloc, Modi called on the people to get rid of corruption, Parivarwad and appeasement. which he called the troika of evil hampering India's growth.
अगर सपनों को सिद्ध करना है, संकल्प को पार करना है, तो हमें ये आंख मिचौली बंद करके, आंख में आग मिला करके तीन बुराइयों से लड़ना बहुत समय की मांग है। हमारे देश की सारी समस्याओं की जड़ में भ्रष्टाचार में दिमक की तरह देश की सारी व्यवस्थाओं को, देश के सामर्थ्य को पूरी तरह नोच लिया। भ्रष्टाचार से मुक्ति, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ जंग हर इकाई में, हर क्षेत्र में। और मैं देशवासियों, मेरे प्रिय परिवारजनों, ये मोदी के जीवन का कमिटमेंट है, ये मेरे अपने व्यक्तित्व का एक कमिटमेंट है कि मैं भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ाई लड़ता रहूंगा। दूसरा, हमारे देश को नोच लिया है परिवारवाद। इस परिवारवाद ने देश को जिस प्रकार से जकड़ के रखा है, उसने देश के लोगों का हक छीना है। और तीसरी बुराई तुष्टीकरण की है। ये तुष्टीकरण में भी देश के मूलभूत चिंतन को, देश के सर्व समावेशक हमारे राष्ट्रीय चरित्र को दाग लगा दिए, तहस-नहस कर दिया है।
Prime Minister's scathing attacks sparked quiet retaliation from opposition camps. Congress chief Kharge, who missed the Red Fort ceremony citing eye infection, trained guns on Modi at Congress flag hoisting event, claiming that Modi will be out of power in 2024 and unfurl flag at his home.
वो अगले साल फिर झंडा फहलाएंगे, अपने घर के ऊपर फहलाएंगे।
Modi signed off his 10th Red Fort speech with a couplet about rising India and its global ambitions.
चलता चलाता काल चक्र, अमृत काल का हाल चक्र, सबके सपने अपने सपने।
As Modi's Red Fort fireworks set the template for 2024 polls, Bureau Report, India Today.
The fact remains, viewer, that 10 months before the next big election in this country in 2024, every single platform becomes an occasion for an election speech. The Prime Minister's Red Fort speech today was about his government's achievements, but as you saw in that report that we just played out for you, there was more than enough that was pointed directly at the Congress party and the India alliance. This evening, let's take you straight into our political face-off, because the Prime Minister's words, as usual, have lit a fire. Rohan Gupta of the Congress party, Syed Zafar Islam of the BJP. Thank you both for your time today. Wishing the both of you and your families a very happy Independence Day right off the bat. To begin with, Rohan, to you first. The Prime Minister has been exuding since the no trust vote speech and today's speech as well, his, signature sense of self-confidence. He's saying, I am going to be back next Independence Day. I will be speaking to you from the ramparts of the Red Fort once again. There's nothing new in that. The Prime Minister has always done that. Aayega to Modi hi was a rallying cry in 2018, 2019 as well. Why is the Congress reacting so sharply to that, saying, no, Modi will hoist the flag in his own home, we will be at the ramparts of the Red Fort?
See, having confidence is one part and having overconfidence is another part. Giving speeches is one part and walking the talk is a different thing. The same Prime Minister from last year, if you see his last year's speech, he has attacked Parivarvad and Bhrashtachar. Now the same party has taken Ajit Pawar in their fold and given him finance minister. So don't you feel people of India watch this very carefully? You have to walk the talk. When PM speaks, people expect that whatever he speaks, he will deliver. When PM had spoken about giving house to every Indian, when PM had spoken doubling the farmers' income, when PM had spoken that 2 crore jobs will be given everywhere, obviously people expected, because he's a good orator, people expected him to deliver. After 9 years, when we talk about deliver, they consider is anti-national. That is the problem, Shiv. As an opposition party, it is a responsibility that whatever promises are made by ruling party, we ask questions on that. That doesn't make opposition parties anti-nationals, number one. Number two, they silence the voice of opposition parties in the new parliament. You have created an excellent building and you have removed the atma or the soul of the democracy from them by not allowing opposition parties to speak. If he's saying that Parivarjan, the people of India are his Parivarjan, then why he didn't go to Manipur when Manipur happened in the first time? This is what opposition asked from him.
I'll come to Rohan. I'll come to the Parivarjan issue in my second round of questions. I just wanted to focus first on the Prime Minister, and you've answered that. You've said that there is a difference between confidence and overconfidence. Syed, how would you respond? The Congress has latched on to it because the Prime Minister, like I said, it wasn't only in today's speech but also in his 2-hour reply to the no trust vote, had made it a point to talk about how he is going to return, that it is a foregone conclusion, there is no suspense as far as 2024 is concerned. It's almost like the Prime Minister is playing mind games with Team India and the opposition. Syed.
See, first of all, happy Independence Day to you and all your viewers. The Honorable Prime Minister draw confidence not from the political parties, but he draws confidence from the people of this great country. That's his strength. When he speaks, everybody speaks, it touches the heart of common man on the street. And that is the biggest strength he has. He always says that he has the Ashirwad of a common man on the street. Every citizen of this country has given Ashirwad to him, and he is duty bound to take India to greater heights, and that is what he has been delivered. So he has not only spoken, but he has also given what he has done in last 10 years. He has also the report card he has presented to the people that whatever he had promised, he has delivered, and of course he will take India to the greater height in going forward.
He's basically saying "Aayega to Modi." He's basically saying "Aayega to Modi."
No. So why is saying that? You have to compare the leaders which are today in today's context. The Honorable Prime Minister and who has been equated against Modi ji is Rahul Gandhi, or for that matter Kharge ji, or for that matter any other leaders of the Gavandiar opposition parties.
Okay.
So you have no one who can actually challenge the Honorable Prime Minister, and that is something which he is aware, that is something which he knows the people's mind, and people also has given Ashirwad, and he draws confidence from the people. He is not overconfident. He is only expressing what he receives, the love and affection and admiration what he received from the people. So he is confident of his victory, and he has been able to deliver, and he has committed, if he guarantees he has given like third largest economy, it will become. Because he has created a roadmap.
Rohan, the Prime Minister in today's speech also dwelt, or at least hinted at that idea that, here, as far as his own persona is concerned, Aayega to Modi hi. But if you look at the other side, as Syed is also mentioning, that there are no leaders to stand up to the stature of Modi. That is what the Prime Minister appears to be insinuating when he is pointing at Team India and saying, look at how scattered and divided they are and they want to take me on. Rohan.
If Mr. Modi is confident about him, I think he should be confident about the promises he has delivered. Let us debate on that. I'm here to debate on that. I don't want to, because people of country know that they have not received 50 lakhs. They have not, their income is not double. The economy has not become 5 trillion. Every Indian hasn't got the house.
And we put those questions to the finance minister earlier today.
Yes. The black money has not come to India. Forget about 7-8 years, Shiv. I am talking about the last year's speech where Prime Minister attacked Parivarwad and corruption. And now you have Mr. Ajit Pawar in his party. I don't feel that people of the country can trust his words. Okay, he might have that overconfidence. But I feel today that it is over arrogance and insult of people's verdict. I think you should allow people to express their verdict rather than imposing your belief on them. Let people decide. If you have delivered, they will definitely vote for you. Let people decide. If the opposition is raised voice of people, the people will vote for India. And that is what going to happen. You should be humble. The overconfidence doesn't work, Shivarun, when you don't deliver the given promises to the people of India.
Okay.
The same will happen. You will see next year that somebody else who represents the voice of people of India will hoist the flag at Red Fort.
Syed, quick answer to that. The Congress says not only overconfidence but also arrogance and lack of humility to say ki aayega to Modi hi. Let the people decide.
Well, that is what we are saying. Let the people decide. Who has won the admiration of the people of this country? It is the Honorable Prime Minister, who enjoys the admiration of countless number of people. Who has the best popularity rate? It is the Honorable Prime Minister. Why? Because he is able to connect with every single countryman.
Okay.
See, barring these opposition, Ghamandiya opposition, who is actually extremely arrogant, the only ambition is to ensure that Modi ji doesn't come back. And that's why when he said that he will come back and give you a report card of last 10 years on 15th August 2024, they started feeling that there is absolutely no place, headroom available for these people to become the chief prime minister.
No, it's become, see,
so it is for them to decide whether this. It is for them to decide whether they want to accept the reality or they keep talking.
See, this idea of a foregone conclusion, like I said, is not a new one. It has been pushed, as almost like a psychological operation by the BJP in the past as well. Through many of the phrases, there is Modi only. Timo factor is something that analysts have talked about. Aayega to Modi hi is something that the BJP used in 2018, 2019. Now let's put that, the predetermination of 2024 aside for a moment. Rohan, the whole Parivarvad versus Parivar Jano. Anyone who heard the Prime Minister's speech today noticed very, very clearly that Parivar Jano was a word that had replaced Bhayo Behno or Mitro. He said Parivar Jano 48 times in his speech today. It is the word that he used the maximum number of times in his 90-minute speech today, Rohan. And it was clear that there was a distinction being made by Narendra Modi between Parivarvad, which is dynastic politics, and a person like Narendra Modi, who considers India to be his family, and therefore he only serves his real family, that is India. How do you respond to that? Because the Parivarvad jibe is something that is well known, it has been used before as well, but Parivar Jano is something new.
So Shiv, I think he will not consider now India as his family because now he hates India, right? He's talking about now quit India because India is opposing him now. So he will not love India. So India is not family. Parivarjan is for something else. So when he says Parivarvad, let me come on that. Parivarvad, as again I'm repeating, last year he attacked opposition parties on Parivarvad heavily, on corruption heavily. Now you have same leader who he attacked 1 month before, given him finance ministry, meets him, greets him. Do you feel that his words have any value in minds of people? No, you have to deliver, right? You can be quiet on that. You can speak all your whole thing. It can be a monologue. But people of country definitely, they have these things in mind. When PM says something and he does something else, can they trust them? Number one. If Parivarjan, now I'm coming to Parivarjan, if all Indians, I think India, as I told, he will not consider India as now his Parivar.
Okay.
But considering that Parivarjan word, what he has used, why Manipur people are not his Parivarjan? Why he has not gone to Manipur when Manipur happened? Why he has not gone to Haryana when Haryana happened? Why he has not gone to our girls who sat on the hunger strike in Delhi against their own party MPs misdeeds? Why they were not the Parivarjans? They are the betis of the family, and PM had no time to even talk about them. So I think walking the talk is very crucial, Shiv. When you talk about PM, when person like who talks like, like a statesman, he is a good orator, no doubt about it. But people expect the reliability on his talks. People expect that whatever he says, he has to deliver. You just cannot have jumlas and jumlas and jumlas and get away all the time.
On the Parivarvad versus Parivar Jano issue, Syed, last word from you. Out of time, last word to Syed.
See, he also mentioned and updated the people of this country that 13.5 crore people have come out of the poverty and they have been now part of the neo-middle class or middle class.
Yeah.
That's a big achievement in last 10 years because of the policy initiative he has taken. Also, he has spoken about 3 Ds. The diversity, which has become a template for the world to follow Indian diversity. The demographic dividend, which is the biggest strength we enjoy. And of course, democracy, the mother of all democracies. All this has helped to him to achieve what he has achieved. But he also has spoken about 3 menace for the society.
Okay.
Is the appeasement policy of appeasement which Congress follows, the dynastic policy which Congress has followed, and he also he was corruption. So he was anti-corruption because these are the 3 bottlenecks which is the growth of the country. And he urged the people, sensitized the people, urged the people, do not tolerate these 3 things because that has become
what we are going to see. What we are going to see. I'm out of time. I'm sorry for interrupting.
But for these
yes. No, we heard that. All I'm going to say is that with 9 to 10 months to go for the elections, it is very clear now that the age of psychological operations has started. In my view, it started with the no trust vote speech. The Prime Minister has taken it forward from the ramparts of the Red Fort, and we're going to see much more of it in the months and the weeks ahead before 2024. There's another cycle of elections in the states as well. Each side is going to try to get into the mind of the other and play these mind games, and we'll be reporting and analyzing every bit of it. Rohan and Syed, once again wishing you a very happy Independence Day, and thank you very much for being with us here on India Today. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to the viewer for watching. Wishing you as well a very happy Independence Day. Keep watching India Today.